This changes everything. This is something we didn't expect. While I was away in Amsterdam, Lincoln turned his attention to the kitchen, specifically the wonky chimney wall, which is taking its time revealing what exactly is going on. And while he continued removing the old plaster, something interesting began to reveal itself. With the plaster removed, a large fireplace has started to reappear, one half in the kitchen, the other half in the hallway. The next step, removing the stones. So I realized I have a bit of an all or nothing problem. If I can't do something perfectly, I just won't do it at all. And I've done it with everything. At one point, I didn't plant anything in the garden for weeks because I hadn't finalized the perfect, most beautiful layout, as if the vegetables and flowers really care about that. And if I couldn't do it perfectly, I tell myself I'll just start later. And later has a way of not happening. The shift for me was realizing that doing something badly is still doing something. That's also where therapy can be useful. It gives you a bit of distance from your own thinking, especially when your brain is just being kind of a jerk. One piece of advice from therapy that stuck with me was to stop aiming for perfect and aim for started. Even if it's just one small thing, it still counts. Today's paid partner is with BetterHelp, a way to start therapy that's simple and straightforward. You take a quick quiz and get matched with a credentialed therapist. And you can communicate however you want, a phone call, video visit, even a text. And if it's not a good fit, you can switch to a new therapist at any time. Over 6 million people have used BetterHelp, which makes starting feel a little less intimidating. So if you've been waiting until you feel completely ready, that may not happen. If you're interested in starting therapy, you can click on the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/ourfrenchchateau to get 10% off your first month.
If you'll recall, unfortunately we've got a bunch of junk here so you can't see, but to recall or recap, there's a diagonal hearth here, like there had been a stove and then a pipe going up into there, which was a flue. So we figured that was what they had for heat and whatever in the kitchen.
And that's what we based our kitchen design on.
Right.
So we made sure we opened that up before we had Matt, our architect, draw up the final designs.
Because we needed to know exactly where it was. The first thing I wanted to know after I had done all this was, well, it looks like we're only looking at part of it because it's an arch. When I took off more plaster and uncovered the brick arch, which looks like it's only part of what's really there, because you would imagine the other end would be the same height. So I decided I would go in the other room and dig a little in the wall and see if I could find more brick. This is a fireplace it's basically the same size as the one in the basement. It's about 5 feet wide, all the way down to the floor, and 6 feet high.
Our assumption was that this room was completely original, and we were kind of perplexed because there was no fireplace in this room.
Right.
So we assumed it was in this area.
That's what we thought originally.
Yeah, based on removing the plaster and seeing that pipe. So when we uncovered nothing here, we were like, that's really strange. So essentially, this wall didn't exist.
Right.
This was one large room.
So this wall was a modification, as was this hearth that was diagonal for putting a stove there.
Yeah.
Which it all looked like it would be original. That's
Right.
what you'd think.
So this is where probably a stone lintel was.
Yeah, there's one on the other side.
There's one
too.
on the other side as well. And you can tell the fireplace was used a great deal because it's completely filthy.
See if you can.
Yeah, let me see if I can climb into the fireplace. I don't want to get clocked with a stone. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but
Well, you can see that this side curves over.
there have been birds' nests and this thing is full.
It's basically as wide as the fireplace at the bottom, and then it narrows on both sides.
So now we're trying to figure out how the heck our kitchen plan fits this new discovery, because we don't want to cover the fireplace up. I think this is a fantastic find.
And it's a floor level hearth.
Yeah, so yes, and that
completely different.
You can't tell, but it goes down to the floor. That's just the rubble that came out. So our options are, don't forget this this wall's coming down.
Right.
Unless we want half a fireplace on one side.
Yeah, 2 fireplaces.
That was supposed to be countertop, going into the other room. So now we're kind of stuck. We're left with this wall, which is not very wide. How many meters is
2
that?
meters.
A couple
6
meters.
feet. Yeah.
Over 6 feet, maybe 6 feet.
Yeah.
So the thing is, we're trying to figure out, would the stove look funny here with a hood, and then we have our giant island, which would be, more functional.
You can see.
Yeah, here's our island. That's here.
That's roughly where it is.
So the island starts here and it continues into the other room, but use your imagination. There's a wall here.
It's 10 feet long.
It's a 10-foot long island.
3 meters, yeah.
So what are our options? We can leave the fireplace open.
Yeah.
We could modify it to put the stove in there, but that means we'd have to have a stonemason come in and, make it taller, which that worries me a little.
Yeah, well, we'd have to see. Possibly, yeah.
Yeah. Or we do it as we had originally thought and build a counter and you just have a half fireplace.
Right, the hearth is up at the counter level.
Right, which I don't know how functional that would be.
Yeah, it's
So we're in a pickle right now.
with an old house, your preference would be to bring it back to what it was originally.
Yeah.
What was envisioned when it was built. That's just like with these closets.
Yeah.
All being filled in.
Right. With a lot of these old homes, just because it's original doesn't mean you must keep it or
Right.
it's functional. So I think in this case, I think it would be fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, but it kind of mucks around with our kitchen
plans, yeah.
our kitchen plan now. It throws a whole monkey wrench into it. So here we are on the other side of the door. So this entire wall was not here when the chateau was built. And this is the other side of the fireplace.
And this line goes all the way down to the floor.
Yeah.
That's the side of the fireplace. And all of this is just stone they filled it up with when they decided they didn't want to use it anymore.
Yeah.
And so we have to get all that out.
So we're thinking this was an original piece just for stabilization of, the entire...
The brick arch is like structural. It
Yeah.
wouldn't have been exposed. It's not a vanity thing.
But this makes total sense. Now we found the missing fireplace. It's like,
For real, the for real one. As you can tell, these cabinets are pretty large. All of the wood used is more than an inch thick, so it's all heavy. It's attached to the wall somehow. We need to figure that out because it's got a plaster back,
yeah.
which is the wall with the brick, you know?
We're going to take this side down first. We're not going to take all of them down because...
Right, we're just going to take this part, yeah, and the doorway probably.
Because we really need to get a good look at this to see how it fits into the room, and then we can redraw our island. Here's the rest of the island, by the way. So this is originally how far it's going to come out from the kitchen.
It's about even with the end of the fireplace.
Yeah. So a lot of decisions to be made. Hopefully we'll have this down in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. What should we do? Should we block up the fireplace? Should we keep it open and then redesign our kitchen?
Well, I think at first we owe it to ourselves to open it all up and have the wall down and view it and see how it looks in the place.
Yeah.
And then decide, you know, if we're going to break it back up, we do, you know.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I know. I mean, ultimately, what's going to work best for the kitchen? It would be great to have a fireplace.
Yeah.
Are we going to use it?
probably not. Probably
it's
not
nice.
often.
Right, it would be great for cooking. Okay, so you can see this is our basement fireplace, which obviously all the venting for the boilers go up there. So this is where they cooked, and they brought everything up this back staircase, which we haven't opened in quite a while. So this is the original staircase that they probably brought everything up with. And you can see we covered it up with a piece of OSB because it wasn't a functional space for us. So they must have brought the food up through here and then, you know, finished cooking it upstairs or something. Spring has arrived, and I made an attempt to enjoy it inside the walled garden, which unsurprisingly turned into a weeding session. I started with a border wall under the fruit trees, clearing space for ground cover plants, so this area can more or less manage itself. That way I can move on to other more important parts of the garden. Yeah, it looks great. We are almost at 70,000 subscribers. Of course, the end goal is 1 billion, at which point Lincoln will shift into a supervisory role, never touching a single tool again. You can subscribe to support his vision. Those of you who follow our channel know about our tractor woes and how priorities here tend to shift day by day. The kitchen is still very much at the top of the list, but at the moment we're mostly focused on keeping the property under control. Lincoln has started the donkey field. I have no idea how many acres it is, but it's not tiny. Okay, this is day 3, and you can see he's almost done. He's got a strip over there that sort of looks like a big arrow. So what's happening is the Kubota is just overheating, so he can only do so much mowing per day, and that's obviously a pretty big plot. That shouldn't be happening. He's got a quick fix that he is thinking of doing. Something he noticed is that the tractor does not have an expansion tank, which helps the coolant go through and cools the engine. So we're going to try to find one of those. It didn't have it. Hopefully that'll be a help, but this will be the last season we can use this thing. So we definitely need an upgrade next year. There he is with his giant arrow. It's starting to rain. He's coming in. You guys are so cute. A third one joined. Hi, Dill. So this is Dill, this is Sesame, and George. Hey, George. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, and if you have something to say, leave us a comment.